is talking about worry, anxiety, fear, panic, dread, paranoia, things, those emotional sensations we all can experience from time to time, and sometimes we're overwhelmed with that. What's interesting about those emotions is how often they're planted either in the future, in a moment that we haven't been in yet, or rooted in the past, a moment we've already experienced. But what's interesting is the only moment we have is here and now. And so I asked this question to myself when I can remember, if I'm not too overwhelmed. I'd like to ask a question to help center me. And the question is this: Craig, when are you breathing? And the answer to that is always now. You and I are only and ever breathing now. And so take that idea and look at anxiety and worry and panic and dread this way. When we are engaged in those negative emotions and agreeing with them, allowing them to overwhelm us, it's like you and I are trying to breathe in the future. And that's impossible. You can't do that because you're not there. Or it's like we're trying to breathe in the past. Well, you've already done that. So the only time you and I can engage in true breathing, and i.e. being alive, is here and now. And what's interesting is that brings us to this beautiful truth about one of the Hebrew names of God. Do you want me to share that?
Please.
So one of the Hebrew names of God is Yahweh, but it's spelled with aspirated consonants. It's spelled YHWH. What's interesting about that is if you were to write those letters down on a piece of paper and tell someone, hey, why don't you pronounce that? They wouldn't be able to. You can't pronounce YHWH. But what's interesting is, and God is so smart, I think, of course he is, but he's so brilliant in that you and I can actually pronounce Yahweh by breathing. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I'm going to breathe, literally breathe the name of Yahweh. Hopefully I won't hack because of my asthma here, but it goes something like this. I'm not using my teeth, my tongues, or my lips. I'm just breathing, my tongue a little bit inside to do the fluctuation. But in that moment when I'm stressed out, the invitation for you and me is to breathe. And literally, when you are breathing, whether you realize it or not, that in and of itself, dude, is an act of worship to God. It's a centering experience. That's why meditation and breathing exercises are so popular. That's why someone will tell you, just breathe, just breathe. But it's wonderful to know at a deeper level, it's very profound in the eyes of God. When you are breathing, you are saying the name of Yahweh, which when you go a deeper study into those letters, it comes out as a verb, which means to be. So you are declaring the being of God, and God is the God of the now. He is, of course, he's the beginning and the end, but he is our God here and now. And the only moment you and I have to be is now. And when we worry and agree with anxiety and dread and panic, we're trying to be either in the future, which you can't be there yet, or you're trying to be in the past. Guess what? You've already been there. The only moment you and I have to literally be with the one who said, I am, I be, is God himself. And we can do that just by breathing, man. It's so wonderful. And I love practicing that. And of course, that's always a key word. It's a practice. It's not about perfection, but we are those who are practicing truth, practicing righteousness. And so that's just a fun little question I'd like to invite people to use when they're in a moment of worry, anxiety, or fear.